It's the Insider's Room, NFL divisional breakdown. Today we're going to look at that AFC North. I got WRCAPE back on again. Seems like the only one that wants to do this with me. But here we go. we're going to break down the AFC North. As always, we'll just look at how this is stacking out in Vegas according to FanDuel right now. We got Baltimore the favorite to win this division, and they're sitting at 11 wins. Baltimore's at plus 115. Cleveland, second favorite at plus 155 at 10.5 wins. Pittsburgh at plus 440, looking at 8.5 wins. And then if you want the long shot in Cincinnati at plus 1,600, and they're looking at 6.5 wins. I guess if you're a Joe Burrow fan, this is the way to go. So we'll start out here with Baltimore. Big news over the weekend: J.K. Dobbins will be out for the year with the tore ligaments in his knee, so that's going to set them back a little bit. But outside of that, Ryan, what do you think of Baltimore this year?
Well, I think they'll be a decent team. Lamar won his first playoff game last year after 2 first-round exits prior. I guess the biggest thing is, can they have a balanced attack on offense? Their defense has always been the strength of the team. And I don't know, defense is getting older. So you have Calais Campbell and Brandon Williams anchored D-line, but the D-line's are old. You have Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters, so secondary is nice. They have 0 pass rush on defense. They're one of the only first offenses in the NFL. So I guess them and the Browns are the 2 biggest ones. They like to run the ball more than other teams. They last year ran the ball 58% of offensive snaps. It's actually the last 2 seasons. They had 2 of the most prolific rushing seasons with Lamar Jackson. They led with 3,296 2 years ago, and then last year they had 3,071. And last year they ranked last in passing. Jackson is the only QB in history with 2,000-yard rush season. I think he has to develop his downfield passing. I don't think he has a lot of weapons. Marquise Brown, I guess Mark Andrews are the passing threats. They did sign Sammy Watkins, and they drafted Rashad Bateman. I guess Watkins could have a decent year. I know he did well with Greg Roman in Buffalo. I think that J.K. Dobbins is a huge deal that he's out for the season. I think they need more than Gus Edwards. The offensive line was bad last year. I think they could potentially be better. Defense, great secondary, no pass rush. And I just think that the defense is aging. I like their special teams. I think they have good coaching. They have the most accurate kicker in the NFL. I think their biggest thing is they need to get another running back. Maybe get Mark Ingram back. I know Todd Gurley's out there. Yeah, I like the 11 wins. I think this team should compete for the division.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, I agree with Jackson's going to have to improve his downfield passing, and in part of going in hand with that. I think the receivers are a little banged up right now. That he needs them back to be 100%. Yeah, Dobbins. I do think that hurts him, because I know Jackson's had 1,000 yards the last 2 seasons, but and that always scares me, because he's always just that one hit away from lose, doing something to a knee or an ankle or a shoulder on a hard hit. I never like seeing your quarterback have to run for that many yards unless you're playing PlayStation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think as long as he can stay healthy, but again, he's still going to have to pass the ball down the field at a somewhat consistent basis, or they'll do what they learned to do to Trubisky for the Bears, make him play quarterback. Make him throw the ball, and beat you. as you said, the defense is getting older, and that's always been a Baltimore thing. It's always been their defense, even when they won the
Right.
Super Bowl before. It's always been their defense. And as you said, they're getting older, and that's why they always wanted that running game. They always wanted that rushing attack, control the ball. And I agree with you. They're going to have to go out and find somebody. As you said, Gurley's out there. Maybe they'll have to find somebody to go with Edwards. But yeah, I think they're decent. I think they will fight with Cleveland for this division, and I would have to right now. I still lean, even though without Dobbins, I still lean to Baltimore with the edge, especially at quarterback. And speaking of the second team in this division, the Browns. To be honest, Cleveland, they had that nice, I think, run at the end of the year last year because there was talk about not wanting to bring Mayfield back and having to look for another quarterback. I don't know. This team does have some, they still have Chubb and they still have some weapons on offense and on defense. Garrett's a stud on defense. I think they're gonna be in a lot of games, and it's just you got to hope Baker doesn't make those mistakes that will cost them games, and he's just gonna have to manage more than it's he's not. He's got to think he's not at Oklahoma where he's just throwing the ball all over. He's got to play more, I think, in himself and control the game more and rely on their defense and rely on their running game to win the game for them.
Yeah, I agree. There's talent all over this roster. Yeah, they had 11 wins last year. They made it to the divisional round against the Chiefs. Their defense is pretty much revamped. They have 9 new defensive starters. Garrett and Denzel were the only 2 players playing at their position that were there last year. But this offense should be great. One of the best O-lines in football. You have Nick Chubb. You have Hunt. Yeah, Baker Mayfield, last 9 games, I think he only threw 1 interception. So if they could have that Baker Mayfield, this team should be pretty good. Stefanski was coach of the year last year. This is another one of the best rushing teams with Chubb and Hunt. All 11 starters are back. Odell Beckham Jr. will be back. Jarvis Landry is a good weapon. And I think the offense can attack on all levels, running, passing. I think Higgins is going to step up. They also have Austin Hooper who can block, and he's got pretty good hands. I expect the defense to be upgraded. They got Clowney and McKinney, which could be pretty lethal. And then they drafted Greg Newsome, and they signed Troy Hill. I like their linebacking core. I think they have decent special teams. So I think this is going to be one of the better teams in all the AFC.
Yeah. As you said, they do have weapons. I don't know. The last few years, Beckham Jr. hasn't really done much for me, and we'll see what he's going to bring this year. But yeah, I agree with you. I think they're they're solid on offense. They should be good on defense. They'll battle Baltimore for that top spot, and they could be a dangerous team in the playoffs with that offense and with that running game. So yeah, I think this is probably going to be a 2-division race, and it's going to be between Cleveland and Baltimore. So we'll move to Pittsburgh. One of your close to home.
Yeah,
the Steelers there. So what are you looking at for the Steelers for this year?
It's a hard team to tell. I guess the biggest thing is how Roethlisberger plays. They have a new offensive coordinator, Matt Canada. But the offense is tailored for Ben Roethlisberger, short passes. They have great receivers with Juju, Claypool. They have Washington, Deontay Johnson. I guess last year a big problem was running backs. And now you got Najee Harris. He can handle a lot of work. He's a pass catcher. He can deal out punishment. I don't know how good this offensive line is going to be. They lost a couple guys, brought some new ones in, but I expect this defense to be top notch once again. They're returning all the D line to it. Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt should be a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. Devin Bush is back. I don't like that Bud Dupree is gone. Secondary is kind of suspect, but I mean, when you have Minka Fitzpatrick back there, you never know. He's a game changer, right? I mean, he gets turnovers, he gets touchdowns. I think he's had like 4 defensive touchdowns since being in the league. I don't think they have a great special teams either. So, I could see this team being an 8-win team. I could also see them being an 11-win team. I just think the division got better than the Steelers got.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to lot depend on Roethlisberger. How is he going to be able to come back from his injury? How is he going to play? He is getting older. That offensive line, I mean, yeah, they had problems at running back last year, but to be honest, I don't know, I'm not sure, 100% sure if it would have mattered because that offensive line was terrible last year. I think when Pouncey they got hurt and then they retired. I don't think he's back. So yeah, I think that offensive line is going to have to step up. They're going to have to give Roethlisberger some time, and if he's got some time, as you said, he's got Schuster Smith, he's got Claypool, he's got Ebron at the tight end, he's got some weapons there on offense. If he's got time to give him the ball, I think Harris will help them out. He will give them some stability in the backfield. And that defense, again, I'm with you. I think Bud Dupree is a loss for them. Their defense seemed to miss a step when he went out last year. It's just hard to forget. It's hard to forget what happened at the end of the season. I mean, they were 11-0.
Yeah.
And then the wheels fell off. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think, they're looking at, at 9-8, 8-19. They could easily win 11, and I think they could easily win 6. That's going to depend on the offensive line and can Roethlisberger stay healthy.
Yeah.
And then the last team in this division, Cincinnati Bengals. Again, they get Joe Burrow back from injury. How's he going to go? He's going to come back 100% right off the bat. They got some good wide receivers. They got T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. They went out and drafted Jamar Chase, his buddy from LSU. Personally, I think that was a mistake. I think they should have got drafted Sewell, give him some protection, especially coming off an injury. I think, you want to make sure he stays upright. He is your franchise. But, the running backs, Joe Mixon, Sammy P. Ryan, good running back there, good weapons. I mean, I think they can score a ton of points. This one thing is, will they be able to stop anybody from scoring points? And I usually think that's a no from you. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of high-scoring games in this one between whoever they're playing. This offense is, like I said, if Burrow is healthy and they can keep him upright, they can score a ton of points. It's just, can they stop anybody from scoring?
Yeah, this is definitely one of the worst offensive lines of football. I think they're going to be a bottom dweller with the Texans, Jags, teams like that. Yeah, they drafted Jamar Chase. He hasn't really looked good in preseason or camp. Dropped a lot of balls. I actually watched some of the game yesterday. Yeah, he didn't look good, but I do like Joe Burrows. I think he's got the weapons too. I like T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. I don't really have a tight end. Joe Mixon, if he could stay healthy, should be pretty good. Defense is certainly the problem here. They signed Trey Henderson, and they got rid of Carl Lawson. Carl Lawson's out for the season now. I think he got hurt yesterday, maybe. But they should have a decent secondary. The rest of the defense is definitely a question mark. They got a new kicker. They actually drafted the only kicker in the 2021 draft, Evan McPherson, and he should be able to kick long field goals. I think their special teams are decent, but I don't see him getting the 6 wins. I think this is a 3-4 win team. The rest of the North is going to beat up on them.
Man, I think there's a lot of 3 or 4 possible 3 or 4 win teams in the NFL this year. I mean, it's going to be an interesting year. I think you're going to have a lot of teams with a lot of wins and a lot of teams fighting it out for the number 1 draft pick.
Yeah.
All right, well, that'll probably do it here for the AFC North. Tune in tomorrow as we move on to the next division. Actually, I wanted to shout out if you missed last week's NASCAR report, you missed a good one. Did you sweep the board last week with your picks?
Yeah, we cashed everything.
So there you go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say we got lucky, but yeah, the guys who I thought were gonna do well did well, and the crash didn't really hurt me because I stayed off the big name guys.
All right, good. Yeah, see, if you're not tuning in, or if you're not, you're missing. And WRCAPE's been bringing the heat for most weekends here in NASCAR, and check it out. If you can't catch it live, just tune in before the race and catch the replay and get your picks in, because he's been doing well. So, all right, WRCAPE, I'll let you go. Start breaking down tomorrow's division, and we'll be back tomorrow with some more insight on the AFC.
All right. Thank you. Let's cash some tickets.